Hey guys, I'm SKV and you're watching SKV Plays On, and welcome to another video of Dauntless. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you like it a bit more, please do subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let me get straight to the point. This video is about the Warpike build for Rezakiri normal Warpike and also the Rezakiri God Hand. I'm gonna be showing off the normal one first. This is my build. I'm pretty much using the cunning cells because of the defaults on the Rezakiri Warpike as well. So I'm using a cunning cell there and a discipline there. I am using Savage Wellspring. If you want, you can just go with the particular concussive payload, but I would say I don't think you'll probably be using too much of the special. You can go with whichever special you're comfortable with, but see to it that you do have an Executioner Spearhead. You will get this particular mod from the Lady Luck store, so you may have to do the trials. Anyways, I am using the exotic helmet. Yes, if you don't have it, you could always go for another helmet which has the defense cell slot, like Skarn, for example. Skarn helmet has it, and it has tough cell to give you extra bit of health. Or you could go for any other, like oh, there's Savagery too right here. You could go for this one. This one's pretty good too. It really helps, but I'm using this mainly because it kind of helps me keep my stamina up when I'm using up my wound damage combo, which is the stabbing damage from the Warpike, and it kind of helps me out with that, so I don't have to worry about it. Or if you want to kind of have like +6 Wild Frenzy, you could always change the Skull Forge and make it a Savagery using the Quill Shot mask. And you will get the same builds, but you will also be able to kind of get rid of 1+3 Savagery cell, and you will be able to add Wild Frenzy into it, and you will have a pretty good build right there. It's pretty much the same build, but you'll be increasing the +3 to +6 on the Wild Frenzy. For me, I'm mainly using the Skullforge mask because I kind of want that stamina shields, so that it kind of keeps the stamina from depleting too quickly. So I'm using that, and because of which I am losing a bit of the Wild Frenzy, and I'm kind of keeping the Savagery up because it will help me with the wound damage and do more damage on the wounded parts more quickly. So here we go. I'm going up against the Shrowd. Obviously, it's a Rezakiri weapon, it's a radiant weapon. So I'm going up against an Umbral Behemoth. And also, I do have the God Hand builds right there. It's slightly different because I'm not using Cunning on this. I'm using Rage Hunter instead. If you want, you can use Rage Hunter, or you can go with Cunning again by replacing the Rage Hunter. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but you could. Or you could pretty much use the same build like I'm using here and try to see if you can include either Cunning or actually Wild Frenzy instead of Savagery here. Either of them work, but depends on whether or not you get used to the attack speed. So go with how you feel like it. I mean, if you like the build, go with the Savagery itself for extra damage after wounding the parts. Or you could go with Wild Frenzy and just wait until the Behemoth goes into rage. Oh yeah, always make sure you choose a Behemoth correctly. I mean, you choose the build for Rage Hunter correctly. Because some Behemoths don't go into rage mode too quickly. Some Behemoths do. Shrowd kind of goes into rage mode quite often. And also it puts up that shadow orb kind of a thing. And also Deadeye Quillshot goes into rage mode pretty quickly. Ragetail Gnasher goes into rage pretty quickly too. But some Behemoths are kinda, well, like Embermane for example, it keeps running around too much. But if you do a decent amount of interrupts and do a good amount of damage, Embermane kinda goes into rage mode also. It is a bit tricky to get them into rage mode, but when they do get into rage mode, your Rage Hunter cells come into play at that point. But before that, I think you will be depending on your attack speed and also probably rage a lot, because it gives 25% attack damage bonus. Oh, where is this guy? Oh no, not this map. Always end up oh, he's here. Wow, I couldn't see him in that shadow. Ooh. Ah, went right into that one. Okay, two of the legs are kinda... Ah, didn't get the interrupt. Got it now. Oh, come on. Go, go, go. It's good enough if you can get like 2 parts wounded as quickly as possible, or it would be pretty good if you could get 3 parts wounded as quickly as possible, and the rest is pretty much you going all out. See what I mean? Oh, come on. Got hit. No! The clone makes it always. Get rid of the clone. Bam! Done. I didn't even have to go towards the orb. But yeah, pretty much always make sure if you're using a Warpike, make sure to wound the behemoth as much as possible quickly. I mean, I got a 413. It's pretty decent without potions. Right now, the way Warpikes are, you can get a good amount of buff as long as the weapon meter is filled up. It gives extra damage. But if you get hit, the weapon meter drops down to half of whatever it was filled up to. So you gotta be very careful not getting hit. But it does buff it up to 20%. That's why every time I did get the reload, I didn't use it up quickly. I made sure that I filled up the weapon meter and kept it always full. And when I did use up the weapon, the ammo, I did make sure the whatever was filled up in the weapon meter, I use that again to reload, so that I'm ready to kind of back up my ammos which I use up, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm going for another run right now, but this time I'm going with Mr. Godhand, the exotic weapon, of course. I will put down the link in the description for all these builds that I'm using, and of course I'll put a link for the other build also without the exotic helmet, where I'm pretty much using the savagery type of a mask. Where is it? Quill spike mask, this one too. I'll put it down there so that you will have a plus 6 Wild Frenzy. I'll put that build also. See which one works for you. But with that one, you may have trouble kind of maintaining your attacks and combos to a minimum because you'll be losing a lot of stamina. Even now when you saw, I probably lost a lot of stamina and I wasn't able to charge at the behemoth again because I didn't have any stamina left. Even with the Skullforge helmet, you could kind of add, well, you could change it up a little bit. See if you can get any wild, no, not Wild Frenzy, conditioning cell maybe. That could help. But right now, this is my God Hand build, and for God Hand, you can either go with a lot of break part damage builds, or you can go with complete damage builds. I would definitely suggest not using only wound related cells on the God Hand. God Hand is a bit different from your normal Warpike because it uses a laser beam and you have only one ammo, so make sure it counts. You always want to make sure you do a lot of wound damage like I did at the beginning of the previous hunt, which I'm going to do again in this hunt. But what you need to make sure is make sure all the parts are kind of wounded and are smoking with that aether smoke or whatever from the bodies that it emits. After you've done wounding it and making sure that it has that X kind of mark on the body parts, then use the laser beam. And also when you're using the laser beam, make sure you have filled up your weapon meter again, because you don't want to miss out another chance of shooting the laser beam. So after shooting the first one, you'll, because of the weapon meter being full, you'll have a chance to kind of reload and then again shoot at it. So you'll do, well, we'll see how I can do this rather than me explaining it. Just check it out. I am not using my Wild Frenzy right now, which I was supposed to be. Oh man, that thing hurts. Oh my god, I am so gonna get killed right now. Yeah. I should have just taken a potion, but no, I'm so stubborn. Okay, time to concentrate. How did he get me? How did he get me again? It is a bit tricky if you don't have Wild Frenzy at the beginning. That's why I'm using the Shrike Lantern. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let me reload, buddy. Okay, fine. Don't let me reload. Oh, come on! I pressed dodge. Got you. This time, make sure. Without Wild Frenzy, it makes it hard to get the... Okay, now check it out. I've pretty much wounded most of the parts. What is he? And now go with the heavy attacks. Look at the amount of damage numbers you can get on the wounded parts. And then pretty much go crazy. I'm not even using the laser beam right now, and I'm doing a pretty good amount of damage. And that's what I mean by a lot of damage with the savagery once you've wounded it completely. And all I'm doing is the spinning attack, the heavy attack, and once he's far away from you, go with the laser beam. Done. And we are done. It's a bit tricky at the beginning because you gotta get the wound damage in, but if you can kind of get the wound damage in quickly enough, I think Warpikes are pretty good. I mean, there are some Warpikes that you guys can use, like the Quillshot Warpike, which already has +3 acidic on it. It does a lot of wound damage, and you can make use of Savagery and Rage Hunter. It works out really good. I've tried it before, but I'm kind of having fun with the laser beam on the God Hand, and also a bit more easier and faster damage because of this, because I keep using the Wellspring, Savage Wellspring from time to time. It kind of helps even my allies if they're in my team for extra buff. How much does it give? 20, 25? Yeah, 25% critical strike chance. That's why I'm using Cunning on this one, for that Wellspring. Although I didn't use it much, but yeah, it does a pretty good amount of damage. This one I can't use any other well, special, because this one is a exotic and we can't use any other specials other than the laser beam. So yeah, pretty much we gotta use what we gotta use, and I pretty much made sure that I added Savagery, but I have tried it with Wild Frenzy. You guys can kind of switch it out so that you have faster attack speed and you can get a good amount of wound damage done at the beginning itself. But because I had Savagery and I made mistakes at the beginning getting hit every time, I couldn't build up on the wound damage too quickly, but I got a decent time for not using potions at least. But yeah, anyways, that's about it. And as always, you guys keep smiling, and I'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully you guys like this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did, and please do subscribe to my channel if you liked it a bit more. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and sayonara, a tata, a see you, and a bye bye. You guys keep smiling. Well, not like that, but yeah, the normal smile. See ya. I'm done for this video.